And hit it.
Howdy and good morning. Welcome to Jay Thomas Radio and his Oklahoma News Review, where we take a few minutes frolicking through the news here in the great state of Oklahoma. Now set back a spell and enjoy the vocal warblings of Jay Thomas. Take it away, Jay.
I'm taking it, sir. Taking it. Oh, man. Well, it is what it is. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Radio on the Right, Jay Thomas Radio. And I still only got 3 hours of sleep last night, CC, so I'm still in a bad mood. I know, that's actually great. It's actually fantastic. I got some good news finally, and about here in Oklahoma, but I was shocked that it's not. I'm shocked that I misunderstood the law altogether. I just did. And some good news, finally. And until some Democrat comes along and ruins it, it's great news. It's on top of bad news, but it's great news. Here it is. And this comes to us from KOCO 5, ABC 5 in Oklahoma City. The headline is, wait a minute, let me set this up. Okay. Oklahoma lawmaker wants stricter citizenship checks for people who apply for government assistance. I already thought there was citizenship checks for anybody who wanted any government assistance. But it says here, Oklahoma City lawmakers are pushing bills that could impact how Oklahomans apply for government assistance, with the House Speaker wanting stricter citizenship checks for programs like SNAP and Medicaid, which I was told Medicaid, you could not get Medicaid if you were an illegal alien. I've been told that by every Democrat out there. Everyone. Oklahoma bills 4422 and 4423 sets this program up. So let's go to Shanice Hopkins from KOCO and see what she says.
Who has the right to SNAP benefits and other forms of government assistance? That's the question lawmakers are hoping to answer this morning. In just a few hours, they will discuss a new proposal that would check whether or not you are legally documented before you can receive these benefits.
What?
House Speaker Kyle Hilbert has filed House Bills 4422 and 4423 aimed at making a stricter check for welfare benefits.
Wait a minute. I thought that you couldn't. We were told when my wife and I were wed many years ago. Don't tell her that. Is what we were told. They told us that we could not apply for any benefits. My wife couldn't apply for any benefits for like 5 years, and I guess I couldn't apply for benefits, whatever it was. We weren't on them, but I was told, or we were told, hey, guess what? You can't apply for benefits. And she's like, well, I really don't want a benefit. She had a job. It's called a job. This is in Texas, and they said no benefits for 5 years at least. And, okay, well, we didn't think anything of it because we weren't on any programs. All right, let's go back to Shanice.
The bills would impact programs like SNAP and WIC, which helps families afford food, TANF, which is a federal program that helps families with housing, and Medicaid. Hilbert says if you're going to apply for welfare in Oklahoma, you must be an American citizen.
I would anticipate that there will be those, when they see the pop-up, when they go to apply for welfare and see that their information is going to run through the ICE system, the SAVE system, that hopefully they don't even apply at that point.
What? Okay, that's Kyle Hilbert. That's the House Speaker, I guess. I did not know that. I thought it was somebody else. But the point is, what? Here's the second headline. It says, and it's right next to a little Snap logo. Oklahoma aims to reduce SNAP error, the error rate, to avoid financial penalties. The error rate. Also, I guess it says you can't buy M&Ms anymore. Can't buy candy. But this is all right. Look, uh, if you're an illegal alien, how are you? How are you even? How do you even apply for these? Where do you have to go? And they don't say anything. The people, because I was told by various people this was illegal, highly illegal. Well, let's look at the SNAP benefits. We did this after this came up. We looked at the SNAP benefits for Oklahoma from the Federal Reserve, the Fed, of St. Louis, and it's back in 1985, 83, 82. It was still almost 250,000 people on SNAP, and back in 1982, that's a lot. Oklahoma wasn't that big. It's always been a small state population-wise. And then in 85, it popped up to almost 300,000. 284,000. So it's always been sort of high, but this is crazy. So 2008 is when it really started to skyrocket. So 2007 is puttering along at 400,000. It hits 2008, and what happens in 2008? The economy poops the bed, and it surges to, here's it, 500,000, 538,000 in 2009, 600,000 in 2010. All the way through the Obama era, it is up to 640,000 during the Obama era. Remember, Obama is supposed to, the Obama era, we had all this sorts of jobs. Jobs were everywhere, according to the media. They had cash for clunkers. You had a clunker, you could get cash for it. All right, so then in 2015, a certain someone comes into the presidency in 2016, and in 2016, it's 600,000 people. That's a lot back then. And then it is slowly going down, and it's down 100,000. And it hits 2020. What happened in 2020? A certain somebody lost the presidency, and then good old senile Biden comes in, and then COVID hits, right? Boom, all the way up to 625,000, which still it isn't as much as under Obama, and there were less people here. So it slithers on up during the Biden era to almost 700,000. December 2022, 690,000. 690,000. 2024 is the only numbers we have. We have the year we have numbers for. It's 687,000 under Biden. That is a lot. That's that according to. Then when you go to the explanation here, it is almost 18%. 18% of Oklahomans, 1 in 5 Oklahomans receive some kind of SNAP benefit. 1 in 5. Count 10 people in the room. 2 of them. 2 of these people are on SNAP. That is 12% higher than the national average, according to the Fed. And they are thinking, guess what they're thinking? They're thinking there's some kind of fraud going on here. Some kind of fraud. I wonder what kind of fraud that is. But this is crazy because we have we are number 1 in the country. Holy crap. I had that is huge. And so they are going, let's go back to let's go back to end this story from Shanice. And
under these bills, people wanting this assistance must put their information through a system. The system will be known as SAVE, and it will confirm that they are legally in America. He also hopes his bills cut down on fraud and making sure state dollars go to the right people. This will all be happening here at the state capitol at 9:30, and like
that's
always,
the
KOCO.
aim of it. And this is crazy, man. This is crazy. See? Have you ever been on Snap? You know people that are? Yeah? Well, I mean, it's not... full disclosure, I had to go on it. I was in an accident. And I had to go on... there's called food stamps. I was in a bad accident. And then right after the accident, I had rheumatoid arthritis, which was fun. I had 2 kids. So I had to, for about, I don't know, 8-9 months. I'll tell you what, when it came back up to, I wanted to get off it. Oh, I was like, wow, man, what am I going to do to make up this money? And I thought, well, what the hell am I thinking about that for? It gets you hooked. You get hooked on it. Getting free stuff hooks you. I had to get off it at that point. I'm like, what the hell am I thinking? Yeah, well, I mean, I understand it's for times when you need it. That's when you should use it. It shouldn't be like something that you have for generations, and this, 3 generations of Snap users in the same house. We're proud. Remember? Yeah, remember the failed trans man. We should put her back up again. This Snap is not for the failed trans man. She's on Snap. That's what she says. She's a Snap user. So this is crazy. And also the other laws that you have to have at least 80 hours a month, 20 hours a week. 20 hours a week. When I came down with rheumatoid arthritis, I couldn't walk. I couldn't walk. You can't. Man, yeah, I know. I'm gonna have to tell that story one day. Because if it wasn't for that commercial, I would be in a wheelchair. That's the first thing out of her mouth, out of my doctor's mouth, was you'll be in a wheelchair in 5 years. All right, we're gonna Cece has to go, and then we're gonna come back with some good news. You want me to be hooked? You want to be hooked up with this? Okay, we'll hook up. We'll let Cece go, and we'll be right back with some good news and an update on our little excursion into the Tulsa council members. We'll see you soon. Don't go anywhere. I had to turn that on. I can do that now with this one. That's so cool. Be right back. All right, we're back. We are back. And some good news. Again, more good news, which is just great. I'm loving this Oklahoma news right now. Well, that's sort of shocking with this SNAP card. Also, legislature adopts a resolution to name a new turnpike corridor as the Toby Keith Expressway. It's about time. You should name most of that new out there with what is it? Yeah, it's out by the Kickapoo Turnpike. Well, that I should name that. No, if you're gonna go, you got to go. Okay, bye, Cece. So that's the good news. She came back up. I'm like, what the heck are you doing here? So that's good news. That's good news number 1. Good news number 2. Well, I don't know if this is good news or not, but we'll soon see. The Tulsa City Council votes on a $2.5 million IKEA incentive. I'm going to tell you something. That's going right through. That's passing right through. We're not going to have. There's not going to be any. That's kiss that $2.5 million goodbye.
Now
Hold on.
at TUL, you
I
can
don't want
choose
to
your
talk that. Hold on. Let's see if somebody has something on this. This will be channel 6. And this is The City Council Committee approved the proposal for on February 25th, a couple days ago, and blue yesterday. Here we go.
Expected to vote next week on a multi-million-dollar incentive for the furniture company. The subsidy was approved by a committee and would cover up to $2.5 million worth of renovations for the store. If approved, IKEA could use those taxpayer dollars to help renovate the old Belk store there at Tulsa Hills and make repairs to the parking lot. City councilors say incentives are needed to attract new business. The full council will be voting on this next Wednesday.
All right. Well, maybe, this might pay for itself. They're going to have there's going to be a lot of tax money going through that. So maybe the IKEA store it's not going to be one of those giant ones. So, IKEA. The only thing I buy, the splurges. They have great splurges. See, here is this. Supporters argue that attracting a nationally recognized brand can lead to additional development in the area without future subsidies. No way. No way. The city council is now hooked up to the subsidy IV, and you're going to IV subsidies into every business. Remember, if you remember, they wanted to have Tesla, and they had so many. Man, the only thing they didn't have, Elon Musk came up. They drove him around on our crappy roads. And he was like, man, I don't think the Tesla truck can take these roads. The roads are crap. They don't have any lights at night. So this is not going to prevent future subsidies. This is going to add to future subsidies. These guys are just so stupid. So speaking of the council, speaking of the city council, when we started this program, before I was using X as my platform, and it wasn't working out too well. But we wrote a dear lady who shall remain nameless, Vanessa Hall Harper. Anyway, she turned out to be, she's a crazy woman. And I wrote her a nice email, and she calls me Joe Bob, as a white boy, right? She's Joe Bob. And then I asked her about her 501(c), and she says, call City Legal. So I called City Legal, and City Legal did not want to talk to me about it, and I don't blame them. So we spoke to other people, and especially we spoke to the auditor, and he sent us the ethics code, and also this. This is where they're getting the money. Vanessa Hall Harper has a 501(c). They received, according to the paperwork, $250,000 tax free. Well, this sort of piqued my interest, and I did a little digging, and apparently there are 7 council members, and 5 of them have 501(c) NGOs. We're going to find out who has the NGOs, what they are going to, and who oversees these things, because you just know that they're going to buy their stupid kid a car and then maybe a camera, and he's going to drive around taking pictures of Tulsa, and they're going to call that a job. And they're going to say, well, he needs $40,000 a year. And that car, I need to be a Bugatti, and that camera, that's at least $4,000, and all this garbage. And where the money came from, we received this from the auditor, was the American Rescue Plan Act, state and local fiscal recovery funds, or better known as SLIF. Anyway, he sent us this thing, and it starts off like this. American Rescue Plan Act, state and local fiscal recovery funds audit report. Introduction. the coronavirus state and local fiscal recovery funds, SLRF program, part of the American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA, delivers $350 billion to states and other subsidies around the world, around the country, and around the world probably. Tulsa received $88 million. Well, you know that $88 million did not get past the sticky fingers of the politicians of this city. Mayor Bynum at the time requested the audit, and he gave us a before audit and after audit, and we've been going through it, and my brain hurts. And it's the findings. Man, here's finding number 2. Risk assessments were not conducted for sub-awards. Finding number 1. Disclosure of potential conflicts of interest were not discovered. So there is a lot here to go through, and we're going to go through them. This city of Tulsa requires you to fill out a rather long form. You can't just show up at the city council hearing and raise your hand or fill out a piece of paper and go there. You, that's us, have to fill these things out several days in advance. Tell them what you want to, if you're not talking about what's on the agenda, you have to tell them what you want to talk about. So we are going to fill this thing out and send it in. In the meantime, we do have the names of the other council members who we'll get to, and we are going to ask them to voluntarily disclose their 5013Cs, their NGOs, how much money it is, who is overseeing this. Not like Bob. I got Bob overseeing it. Who's Bob? He's my drinking buddy. You know, Vanessa probably has Squinisha. Squinisha oversees it. She's her drinking buddy. So we're going to go through this. And, man, it's a cluster. Let me tell you something. I didn't swear. Oh, you're not listening to me? I forgot to put this in my ear. Good. She was listening, but I'm not listening back. So this is a cluster fork, man. So this is what we're going to be doing, and hopefully it will be on we will be live and have you be able to call in. So that's what we're doing. That's Oklahoma. That is Oklahoma today. Isn't that nice? All right, that's 23 minutes of your life you won't get back. I hope it made you happier than I was this morning. I'm so pissed because nobody is going to go to jail for any of this crap. I have this terrible feeling that 3 years from now we're going to have the same a-holes back in charge, the Democrats, and it's going to be worse. So buckle up. We'll see you tomorrow.